up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear with every...
Hi guys, tonight I want to try and give you guys a quick condensed version of what the Ketovore / Carnivore diet is and what it can do for you, what it has done for me. Let's see if we can do this in under 10 minutes. First off, the Ketovore diet is basically a carnivore diet, but the Ketovore diet allows for a little more carbohydrates, whereas the carnivore diet is supposed to be zero carbohydrates, 0 to 5%. They get the majority of their calories from meat and fat. The keto diet has about the same ratio of fat and meat, except for they allow for more carbohydrates. As a matter of fact, you can have up to 40 grams of carbs a day and still be considered a ketovore. I don't consume that many carbs. I'm doing more fat and protein. I have a half an avocado some days, not most days, but some days, and I was eating a handful of nuts, not even a handful. According to the package, I was getting like 5 carbs. So I would get that and whatever was in the avocado, or I get 4 or 5 Brussels sprouts. Very, very low carbs. I always was under 20 grams, but I could have had up to 20 grams if I wanted to. But basically, meat and eggs, very little bit of cheese, whole cream in my coffee. Some people just use butter. They eat a lot of butter. A lot of these people do. I don't. I do put butter on my steak or hamburger patty. I'll add some butter to it just so I can make sure I'm getting enough fats, because that is important. And it's hard to get your head wrapped around that idea of that it's okay to eat fat. So it took me a while to really get into that. So I think I'm there now. I had to make fat bombs with coconut oil and natural low sugar, no sugar peanut butter. And then I would have one of those a day just to ensure that I was getting enough fats, because I knew that I wasn't. And I know that that's very important. So that's the carnivore ketovore diet. Um, the things that it cures blows my mind. I can only tell you what it's done for me, but I'll tell you what it says that it's done and what I've seen other people say that it's done for them. I have watched a ton of YouTube videos since I started this, and many, many, many people claim that it does all sorts of things, and there's even been studies. Lots of doctors talk about this. It's not just people that are trying it. This is medical professionals that will tell you that this is what it does. Nutritionists. So don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. But the reason that I decided to do this was because I had watched all these videos. I had listened to these people. I had seen the results, and I thought, this is for me. This is what I want to do. The claims are that it can lower blood pressure. I don't have an issue with that, so that wasn't a concern. But I guess it does. Most people, that's one of the things they say right away, is that they had issues with higher blood pressure, and when they went back in after being on this for a few months, that it lowered their blood pressure. So that would be wonderful if you have issues with that, instead of taking a pill. Um, it literally slows down the aging process. Now, they haven't done studies on humans, but every animal species that they've tested, it has done just that, and it extended their life expectancy. Of course, they can't do this on animals just yet, or people, but they have done it on a variety of animals, and I guess it's really helped. I knew that right away when watching these videos. When I would see these people that were doing it, they would show their before and after pictures. And typically, when a person loses weight, it does make them look younger. But these people looked way younger. It was a noticeable difference. I was just like, it blew me away. And I'm thinking, I'm not a nutritionist, I don't know anything, But I'm thinking, it had to be from, eating meat and all the fats they're taking in. It's like it did something for their skin because they all, they didn't have as much of a problem with loose, saggy skin as most people do when they lose a lot of weight. It didn't cure it completely, but they definitely looked better and their faces looked better because a lot of people, you lose weight in your face, especially when you're older and your jowls sag and everything. I didn't see that in these people. And their skin just glowed. They just looked so much better. So there's that. Those are the things that it cures that don't affect me personally. So I don't have any experience with that. What I do have experience with, what has changed in the soon to be 6 weeks that I've done this, is a lot. The first and most important thing is I sleep now. Um, I've said it many, many times in prior videos. I had a hard time not only falling asleep, but staying asleep. I was constantly tired, constantly. And I wasn't able to take naps. I have too much to do. I work, but I was just dragging all the time because I wasn't getting enough sleep. And it didn't matter that I was tired. I still could not fall asleep before midnight. I would, I think, oh, I can't wait to go to bed. I'd get in bed and my mind would be racing. I just could not fall asleep. It was torture. And all day it was like I felt like I was on a sleeping aid because I was so tired and I was worried. Even driving was getting to be difficult. My eyelids were always heavy. I always felt that I could lay down at any second and go to sleep, but for some reason I couldn't when it came time for me to actually sleep. I sleep like the dead now. When my head hits that pillow, I am out and I sleep like a rock for at least a good 7 hours. And I don't get up to use the bathroom 4 or 5 times a night. That was a big issue. I get up maybe once a night now. So sleeping has made a huge difference, which leads me to my next thing. I have energy now. I wake up and I'm rested. I feel like I got a good night's sleep. And so I have so much more energy in the morning. It feels so good to wake up and feel refreshed. And instead of waking up and just waiting till I can go back to bed, it's a miracle. So though that was the most important thing to me. It removes inflammation, which causes pain. I had terrible knee pain. I had injured my knee not once, not twice, but 3 times this last year. And I thought I was going to end up having surgery. And I would get up some nights and have to put an ice bag on my knee. It hurt so bad. I kept thinking, oh, it's going to heal. It's going to heal. It just wasn't. It had started to, the pain had started to subside a couple months ago, but then I decided to start walking because, it'd be good for my health. And this was before I was doing the carnivore or ketovore diet. And so then the pain started up again. And then I fell. That was when I fell the third time. I had fallen 2 times prior. And so I just thought, this is it. This is forever. I'm 62. This is forever. Well, it wasn't. As soon as I started on this, within a couple weeks, the pain was completely gone, like it never happened. No pain whatsoever. I would never know. And it was really bad. And not just in my knee now, everywhere. I had joint pain, I had shoulder pain, I had hip pain. I just associated it with being older, and I thought, oh, these are things I'm going to have to get used to. Some days I couldn't even really move. I'd get out of bed and I'd have to go take a hot shower before I could do anything else just to loosen up. I don't have that issue anymore. I have no pain. I also don't wake up with headaches. I was waking up with headaches at least 3 or 4 times a week. The first thing I'd have to do with my coffee is down a couple Tylenol. I don't have that issue anymore. No pain and no headaches. I don't snore. I wasn't aware of how bad my snoring was. Everybody else would tell me, oh, yeah, you do snore. Well, my grandkids spent the night last weekend, and the first thing they told me the next morning was, Nana, you didn't snore last night. I was like, what? Because my granddaughter, she will actually wear earplugs when she spends the night because I snore so bad, or I did. I don't snore anymore. Snoring, I guess, is caused from inflammation. I don't have inflammation. Mental clarity, no more brain fog. Oh my God. That was a constant, a given. I just, no matter what, I drink coffee, whatever, and I still was just like, huh? I felt like I couldn't focus on more than one thing at a time, right? I felt like that's part of getting older. You're not as sharp. I feel like I did in my 30s. I can think about more than one thing at a time. I can, focus on other things. I love it. I love it. It feels so great to have that, and I see it in other people now that are walking around in that brain fog. I think the majority of us are, because as I've talked about in prior videos, I feel like we're basically being poisoned by the foods that we buy at the grocery store, and we're all suffering from the same thing. And the only cure is, you have to change your diet, because all those foods are just going to make it worse. No more heartburn. I had issues with heartburn, depending on what I eat. Meat doesn't give me heartburn. I have no issues with heartburn. It improves my mood. I'm happy. How can you not be happy when you've been in pain for all those months and years, and now you have no pain and I'm sleeping, and it just makes me happy. I wake up and I feel happy. I don't have anxiety. I don't have the mood swings. I just feel good all the time. And then there's skin conditions. I saw that it helped younger people with acne. I mean, I've seen people with severe acne, and it literally cured it. Psoriasis, all kinds of issues with people's skin. You'll see these people and their skin literally glows. And I had rough patches of dry skin and stuff, and I've noticed they've cleared up. So that's part of it. Um, Last but not least, weight loss. And I didn't even go on it for weight loss. Of course, I do need to lose weight, but that wasn't why I did this. I was tired of feeling sick and tired, and I needed to do something. And I had been trying earlier, just a few months ago. I decided I'm just going to eat whole foods. I'm going to drink more water. I was taking supplements. I was walking. I did this for about a month. I did feel better. And then I slowly slid back into my old habits. I blamed it on the heat. It's summertime, triple digits. It was too hot to go walking. And, because I wasn't walking, I wasn't losing weight. I was just, but that wasn't it. Because once I started doing this, I have the energy now. I can go walking. I can do all that stuff. I'm eating better. I'm just eating meat, eggs, a little bit of dairy. Before, I thought I have to eat a balanced diet because that's what is healthiest. That's what we were taught. So I was trying to eat a balanced diet. It wasn't working. I was eating, fruits and vegetables, which if you buy them from the grocery store, they have very little nutritional value. I was eating very little meat because my thought was meat was bad, especially red meat, because the studies always told us that. And now we know most of those studies were funded by big pharma. So I don't believe any of those studies anymore. So I was eating very little red meat. I was extremely anemic. My hemoglobin, I can never say that right, was a 6.2. You're supposed to be a 12 or higher. I'd gotten down to a 6.2. And so they put me on iron therapy. Instead of making me eat more meat, I was still on the same diet, but I was told Rice Krispies have a lot of iron in them. So I was eating Rice Krispies with sugar. And it didn't help. And I was taking iron supplements. It didn't help. I don't have to take iron supplements. I don't have to take any of that stuff. I just eat meat and a little bit of carbs. Like I said, the avocado, some Brussels sprouts. I was eating spinach because it was lower in carbs, but it has oxalates. That's a whole other video. If you know, you know. So I cut that out. Now I get up, I have some bacon, I have a couple egg yolks. I don't really care for the egg whites, and that's okay. I know years ago we were told just the opposite. That's not true anymore. My mom just ate the egg white because we thought the yolk was, bad for you. Anyway, I have a couple eggs, a couple egg yolks, and a couple pieces of bacon. I fry my eggs up in butter, coffee with whole cream in it, and then I'm good to go. For lunch, I was having like 5 carbs worth of nuts. And I recently quit doing that because I thought I shouldn't. But I'm realizing now that it didn't make any difference. I was actually still losing weight while I was eating the nuts. And then for dinner, I would have good-sized ribeye steak and the half of an avocado. And I was satiated. I wasn't hungry. I thought, it doesn't sound like you're eating that much, but what you're eating because of the high fat content and the high protein, it filled me up. I wasn't hungry. I didn't have to nibble on other stuff. I was eating popcorn every night, a bowl of popcorn because I thought the fiber was good for me because I was regular. Guess what? I'm still regular. I'm not eating popcorn anymore. I was eating it every single night with nutritional yeast. Still feel like crap. Now I feel so much better. And my friends and family have noticed it and they've started asking me. And that's why I thought, well, I'm going to make a video. It wasn't 10 minutes. I'm already way over that. But I wanted to be able to say, hey, just watch this video and, you'll know. You guys, it's better than going to your doctor and getting pills. If you could just change your diet, give it a week, you'll want to do more, but just for a week. Just eat bacon for breakfast. I don't know, breakfast ham. Those are good too, Canadian bacon. Just eat meat. Eat meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can eat chicken, salmon. Red meat is preferable, but not everybody can afford steaks. You can eat ground hamburger. Fatty. The fattier the meat, the better. So, and it will satiate you. It tastes good, and make sure you get your electrolytes. And you need sodium, and salt doesn't necessarily equal sodium. It's not the same. So make sure you get your electrolytes, get a good electrolyte supplement. I just did that. I suffered the keto flu just about a week ago. I learned my lesson the hard way. I got the leg cramps, the nausea. I was waking up with the aches and pains again. I knew right away what it was. I got the electrolytes. It cured me. I'm good to go now. I put them in all my drinks, my water, because basically that's all you're going to be drinking is water. You can use stevia, monk fruit, those type of sweeteners, not any of those artificial sweeteners. They're horrible. They're just cancer causing. So yeah, don't use those. There's a bunch of other things that, are good for you. There's some new ones on the market that I'm not even familiar with, but people have mentioned them to me. So yeah, go online, do some research. But this is going to be the easiest diet you've ever tried. It is, I'm 62, soon to be 63, by the way, in like 6 weeks. I've never felt this good. I've tried every diet under the sun. I even had the lap band surgery. Nothing has made losing weight as easy as this diet. Nothing has made me feel as good as this has. And that's what I was looking for, because as I was getting older, I was just feeling worse and worse. And I thought, this is just how it's going to be. I'm just going to, eventually die. But now I feel like I did in my 30s, and I have hopes and dreams, and I feel like I can actually obtain them now. I can do things. A year ago, I was severely depressed, severely anemic. I can't even believe that was me. I think about it and was like, my God, had I known about this diet back then, my life would have been so different. But I do know now, and I am making these changes, and I want to share it with you guys and anybody else that's curious. Please look it up, do the research. It's amazing. Anyway, that's it for my 10-minute video. I think it's 20 minutes. And I'm sorry, but I get carried away, and I didn't even talk about half of what I wanted to talk about. But hopefully, it gives you some idea of what it's about and what it can do for you. It's the best diet you'll go on. I promise you. So anyway, I will try and stop now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.